Artificial intelligence.
This will set us up for the break, but the story is from IEEE, the spectrum.ieee.org. You know, the IEEE is one of the... Yes, excuse me. Yes, lovely. I love it. Thank you. It's very cute. Hold on for 1 second, okay? All right. Yeah, the IEEE is one of the earliest outlets that we reported or, just brought to the show in terms of podcasting and everything else. I think the very first episode we talked about the IEEE, that's Canary Cry Radio, way back in 2012. So it's an outlet that's been around for a while. And the headline is World Builders Put Happy Face on Super Intelligent AI. The Future of Life Institute's contest counters today's dystopian doomscapes. Would you like to be part of the Future of Life Institute? Can you imagine introducing yourself to someone? Oh, what do you do? I work for the Future of Life Institute. What is this? What's that movie? Vanilla Sky? What was that company called? Ellie? L-E
nice
or
pull.
something? What's that?
It's a nice pull.
Nice pull.
Yeah. Vanilla Sky.
Yeah. Tom Cruise movie?
Yeah.
Where you're like in a dream, but he's, it's like a company that promises you some kind of dream thing, but you're not sure if you're in a dream or if it's a simulation. Anyway, here's what it says. One of the biggest challenges in a world building competition that asks teams to imagine a positive future with super intelligent AI. Make it plausible. I love this. Make it plausible. That's the biggest challenge to overcome when you're talking about a positive future with super intelligent AI. The Future of Life Institute, a nonprofit that focuses on existential threats to humanity, organized the contest and is offering a hefty prize purse of up to $140,000 to be divided among multiple winners. Last week, FLI announced the 20 finalists from 144 entries. Interesting number. And the group will declare the winner on the 15th of June. The contest aims to counter the common dystopian narratives of artificial intelligence that becomes smarter than humans, escapes our control, and makes the world go to hell in one way or another. And it talks about Nick Bostrom and Stuart Russell and some of these people. Blade Runner, Westworld, Terminator, Matrixes, the whole deal. Anna Yelizarova, who's managing the contest and other projects at FLI, says she feels bombarded by images of dystopia in the media and says it makes her wonder what kind of effect that has on our worldview as a society. End quote. She sees the contest partly as a way to provide hopeful visions of the future. Quote, "We're not trying to push utopia," she says, noting that the worlds built for the contest are not perfect places with zero conflicts or struggles. Quote, "We're just trying to show futures that are not dystopian, so people have something to work towards," she says. The contest asked a lot of the teams who entered. They had to provide a timeline of events from now until 2045. Those of you who have been with us, the 2045 Immortality Initiative by a Russian billionaire, Dmitry Itskov. That's 2045 was the target date for consciousness upload. Okay, so timeline of events from now until 2045 that includes the invention of artificial general intelligence, AGI, 2, quote, day in the life short stories, answers to a list of questions, and a media piece reflecting their imagined world. Now, a little inside baseball. Basil was he wanted to drop this story because it's a little dense. If we read the whole thing, it is very dense. Hang on 1 second. Sorry. There's camera movement and potential power being unplugged by the child, which we don't need. I know you didn't, honey. I'm just saying, please don't. Okay. Yes. So yeah, Basil was saying, let's drop the story, which I take into consideration.
Kill it.
But I vetoed.
Kill the story.
I vetoed because this story, which is basically this lady for the what is it called? The Future of Life Institute is trying to create a positive outlook of the future, especially with super intelligent AI. And in so many ways, what they're asking these people to do is to have kind of like a hope for all this, like a positive spin to all this. And it got me thinking, and I was like, this is kind of what we do already. Our message here at Canary Cry NewsTalk has always been about Jesus. He's the one that's going to restore this. It's his second coming that's going to, we're going to mess up reality pretty bad, it looks like, according to biblical prophecy. It looks like we're moving in that direction. And, why does Jesus need to create a new heaven and a new earth? What happens to this earth and this heaven? Something bad. So, it's not surprising that we're going in this kind of weird direction with all the AI and the metaverse and messing with creation at the most fundamental levels. But in looking at all those topics, with AI being a major component of that, we see where it's headed, but we are also preaching something that is going to ultimately restore the ultimate justice, the ultimate restoration, the ultimate hope that is transcendent. And so what Yelizarova is seeking with this sort of, what's the positive outcome here? There is a positive outcome. It's written in the scriptures a couple thousand years ago, but people didn't pay attention, and people still don't pay attention. And I thought, this is what we do. What are the teams supposed to do? They're supposed to build a timeline until 2045. Now, we haven't done like a straight timeline, but more or less we have talked about the projections of what AI will do to society. And we have considered both the positive and negative aspects. And, everyone likes to focus on the negative. There are some things that can be easier or whatever with AI technology. And then they're asking the teams to create 2 short stories in the day in the life of a world that is, a positive world of artificial general intelligence. And, we have some producers that create short stories. And then they want them to answer to a list of questions, which, okay, we answer to lots of questions. And create a media piece reflecting their imagined world. And again, that's kind of what we do. We create media that reflects, I guess it's a little different because our world that we're talking about is not imagined. It is a very real prospect here of how the great eschaton, the biblical eschaton of what is to take place. It's not something that has to be imagined. It's kind of written in the scriptures. But although I will say that, it does tap into our imagination with the colorful imagery and everything else. But I just wanted to give all of our producers out there some credit because you guys are already doing this. We as a community, we're already doing this. A little quote from one of the people that they are, one of the contestants here. Her name is Rebecca Rappel of Portland, Oregon. And she said, quote, "The assumption at the core of my world is that for a truly positive transformative relationship with AI, it needs to help us, to help humanity become better." She tells Spectrum, "Better to ourselves, better to our neighbors, our planet, and the idea that such a world might be possible is a future that I want to fight for." Anybody else see the problem with fighting? You're still fighting. It's still war. The second team Spectrum corresponded with was a trio from Nairobi, Kenya. Afrofuturism, another topic that we've discussed quite a bit. And they get into some details. I won't get into all the stuff here. It's very dense. The quote from the Kenyan team to paint a picture of the future says here, quote, "Strong on freedoms and rights for both humans and AGIs, going so far as imagining that a caring and respectful environment that encouraged unbridled creativity and discourse, conjecture, and criticism was critical to bringing an artificial person to maturity in the first place." And the argument that the Kenyan team is making with this sort of not utopian, but a positive super intelligent AI future is that because they will be human-like, because they will have human-like capacity for moral knowledge, therefore, they won't want to wipe out humanity. That's the argument that they're making. So I don't know. Very optimistic, maybe myopic, but I just want to say we are already doing a lot of what they're trying to do here with the Future of Life Institute, where we talk about the future, we talk about the present, we talk about how it affects society, culture, your faith, and what the ultimate outcome will be. And I don't know. I just want to congratulate all of you out there, producers. We have a unique situation here at Canary Cry NewsTalk, and I don't think we get the kind of attention, which we don't necessarily want the crazy attention that some of the other platforms get per se, but we're quietly chugging along over here, and I think it's important to say, hey, good job, everybody.